This is the story of a man named Stanley.
これはスタンリーという名の男の物語。
Stanley worked for a company in
スタ
a
ンリ
big
ーは大きなビル
building
の会
where
社で
he
従
was
業員番号
employee
427として
number
働いていました。
427.
はあ、
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
はあ、
Orders came to him through a monitor on his
指令や
desk,
机のモニター
telling him
を
what buttons to push, how long to
どのボ
push
タンを
them.
どれくらい長さを押せばいいのか教えてくれるのです。
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending,
はあ、
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
スタンリーっていう人になるゲームなんだっけ？
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
なんだか
Something that would
驚きなことが起きたんで
forever
す。
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or
急な
even say
ホラー。
hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the
社畜の
longest
鏡
time.
だね。
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
はい。何をするゲームなんだろうマジで。
All of his co-workers were gone.
Huh?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
会議室に向かう。
No matter how hard Stanley looked, Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor
Huh.
did it advance the story in any way.
はあ。とりあえず進めばいいのか？不安になるな。なんだこの空間。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
彼は
left.
左のドアに入りました。え？決められてるのかこれ。左のドアに入りました。いや、
This was
逆張り
not
だから。
the
お
right
っ
way to
と。
the meeting room, and Stanley
ス
knew
パイ
it
ダーそのこ
perfectly
とはとても
well.
よく知っていました。
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
彼は
employee
ま
lounge
ず従業員
first,
ラウンジに
just
立
to
ち
admire it.
はあ。
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
このナレーター、
Yes,
やばい。
really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
このナレーターの言ってることを無視しまくってみる？
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on
そ
his
れが彼の
overall
人格を反映
personality.
していました。
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
ずっと言おうかな。
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue.
座って
But when a long time had
それ以上の
passed and there
長い
was
の
no
を
more,
経過した時
he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
チクチク言葉すごいな。もう終わりか？ 1トリエル分待てるよ。さすがにか。
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his
最
left
初のドア
to
の
get back to
左
business.
側を選びました。最初のドアの左側？あ、これってこと？バーカ。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
何年もクビにならなかったら信じられません。スタンリーは指示に従うのはとても下手で。うわ、なんだここ。うわうわうわ。
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
確かに
foot
出花をくじかれたかもしれま
here.
せ
I'm
ん。
not your enemy.
私はあなたの敵じゃないんです。本当に違うんです。
I realize that investing in your
他人を
trust
信
in
頼するの
someone
は
else
難しいと思いますが、
But the fact is
でも実
that
際
the
この物語
story has
ずっ
been
と
about
他の誰でもな
nothing
くあなた
but
のものだったの
you
です。
all this time. There's someone you
呆れてま
think,
す。
Stanley. someone you've forgotten about? Please, stop trying to make
お
every
願いだ
decision
から
by
一人で全てを
yourself.
決めようと
I'm
し
not
ないで。
asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
うるさい
To
な
put。your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
彼女ってなんだ？脳内に語りかけてくるな。え？何？大丈夫？急に何？は？は？
That's her, Stanley.
彼
You
女で
need
す
to
よ、
be
ス
the
タン
one
リ
to
ー。
do this.
急に
Reach
何？
out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up
出
the
ないんだよ。
phone.
出ないんだよ。抜けるのかなこれ。
As Stanley
抜け
looked
た
out, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one.
Huh.
Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just
す
unplug
い
the
ません、抜い
phone?
ちゃったの？
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually
焦
chose
ってます。
incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let
焦
me
ってる
double
焦ってる。
check.
おお、想定外の起き上がってみたい
Clear
な。
as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone
残念でし
is
た。
actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
そもそもな
None
んで
of
あれ
these
ですか？そん
decisions
な
were
決
supposed
定
to
には
mean
何の用ない
anything.
でしょ
I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you...
う。
Wait
怒
a
って
second.
る。
Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley.
あなたは実
You're
際
a
の人
real
物なんです。
person.
やばい、バレた。
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you
めたいな。
run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
は？
Choice. It's the best part of
や
being
ばい
a real
洗脳され
person.
そ
But if used incorrectly, it can also be the most
う
dangerous.
教育
For example,
授業を受け
in
て
this
る
scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice.
教
He
習
could
所みたい
invent a
な
machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make?
至って健
Remember
全な
that
教育ビ
unlike
デオ
here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to
何も頭に
rational
入って
logic.
こ
That in the
今日何食べよう。
vast infiniteness of space,
まあ正月っぽいこと
your
何も
thoughts
してない
and problems are materially insignificant.
雑炊
And the
まだ食べ
feeling
てない
should subside. At this
雑
time,
炊じゃ
your
ねえわ
instructor will guide
雑
you
煮
in
だ
an
わ
exercise to test and reinforce the
お正
material
月は
covered in
雑
this
煮よ
video.
Ah, welcome back.
ああ何
You
も
may
聞いて
have
なかったまして
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision making, we're going to
ごめん
revisit
何
the
も聞い
choice
てな
you
かった
made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
さてと他に道はうわないかあ閉めれるわえぐっえ閉めれちゃったあ開けれるわでも閉めれんだよやばいこれが正しい遊び方なのか分かってないわさすがになんもないかなくそ出るか開かないあれ同じとこだなじゃこっちか開かないは
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the
あなたが誰
platform
か
and
に飛ばれて死んでしまうので
dying.
そうな
Imagine
い
the
かも
main
です
character dying senselessly halfway
想像
through
して
the
みてくださいよ
story. That
死ねってこと
story
か
will make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal
開かない
with reality.
開かないわ。おーい。まあずんずん進んでいくか。
Almost there. You'll take the door on the
あなたは左のドア
left.
へ
Back to
正
the
しいエン
correct
ディングへ
ending.
と戻
The
ります。
story will have resolution
あ、
once
そういう
again,
こ
and
と
you'll be home free in the real world.
戻らしてんのか。俺が違うルートに行ったから。やばい。戻されてる。やり直しされてる。おい、なんてこった。くそ。抗いたい。
Now remember,
Huh?
all you need to do is behave
あなたは
exactly
この
as
スタンリー
Stanley
と同じように
would.
振る舞え
That
るのです
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be
う
fine.
ぜえ。
All right. When Stanley came
じ
to
ゃな
a
いよ。
set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
気を取り直して。はい、バーカ。
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
やばい、バグってないなんか。やばい、バグってるわ。どうすんだこれ。なんもなんない。くっそ。くっそ。こう言って。なんもないか。入ったと思わして。なんもないな。しゃーなしか。
Oh, it's
Huh?
ruined. I can't believe after everything we
う
talked
台無
about
しだ。
my story, you destroyed my work.
結局
Why?
壊れてる
For
わ。
what? What did you get out of that?
Oh,
What did you
怒ってる。
think was so special about seeing the
怒って
game
る。
undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now
なんかめっちゃ怒ってる。
incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly
勝手
destroy
にゲーム
all
終わ
of
らせ
my
んの。
work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I
ごめん
do?
な、俺が買っちゃってこのゲーム。
No, I have to. I have to shut the game
おい、やめ
down.
ろやめろやめろやめろ。
I
やめろやめろ。怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。急なホラー。おっと急にホラー。
I'm here. I'm
怖い
still
怖い。
here in this pile of rubbish with you who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was
怒
the
っ
only
て
thing in
る
the。world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
面白いと思
You
ったん
just
で
had
す
to
か見てただ
see.
けで。
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
ざまあみろ。
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so
一生
hard.
懸
on
命
it.
作
I
ったのに
tried so hard to make
マジでかわいそう
is behave exactly
Huh?
as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
ま
All
あまあ
right.
まあそこまで言うならか
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the
う
door
わ
on his
次
left.
マジでブチギレそうまあまあそこまで言うならねはいダメー
No! Why did you do that?
はい残念でしたあ
Is behave exactly as Stanley would.
あれ
That means choosing responsibly and always
うわ
putting the story first. I'm quite sure
これ
you'll
ルー
be
プ入
up
っ
to the
た
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
これループ入っ
When
た？
Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
くっそ
he entered the door on his left.
急に機械的になりやがったこいつ。あれ？違う？
No!
What?
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as
Bug?
Stanley would.
早
He came
く
to a
早
set
く
of two
早く
open doors.
早く
He
早く
entered
早
the
く
door on
早
his
く
left.
えあーごめんごめんごめん。はいなんかラグがあるな。これ一応違うっていうことなんかな。
No! Why did you do that?
ループじゃないのかな
Quickly, hurry
つまりは。いやどうなんだろ
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
う。もう一回やってループだったらまあもう。
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave
あ
exactly
あ
as
もうダメ
Stanley would.
か。くそ。はでも冷めてるもんナレーションが。冷めちゃってるもん。おちょっと違う。
Yet there was not a single person here
ここ
either.
にも誰一人い
Feeling
ま
a
せんで
wave
し
of
た。
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
もうだってなんか
hoping he might find
扉
an
閉めら
answer
れちゃうもん
there.
もうこいつ帰らせないように退路閉ざしてくるなあ。ほらそんなんで面白いか？一本道のゲームでひどくないこれ。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
上の階にある上司。でも上に行くしかないもんね。だってクソガキ対策されてる。ジャンプできないんだよな。は？一本道ゲーやん。おい。なんだこれ。
Stepping inside his manager's
Oh.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
全部言うやん。
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
はよ行けみたいな。へえ。すごい部屋だ
I'm
な。
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
どこだろう
Please
これ。
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This
わ
is a
かわ
crucial
いい
step.
パンダ。すごい趣味のいい部屋だな。
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it?
やばいやばいやばい。
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you
それはで
know.
も
You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the
なんか
hell you
怖い
wanted over there.
こ
Why
んない
did
で
you come this way? Speak.
怖い
Say
怖い
something
怖い。
to
う
me.
わうわうわう
Explain
わ。
yourself, you
おいおいおい
coward.
言い過ぎ言い過ぎ。あ
When Stanley came to a set of two open
え
doors, he entered the door on his left.
おい次のプレイヤーなんだって。え
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
締め出された
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
え
I need you to walk through the door.
ジエンドえ
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything
What?
all right? Stanley, this is important.
うわ
The story needs you. It needs you.
バチギレエンド来た
It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
でも他の人も
Do something?
なんかしてよ
Anything?
さあ俺の方がマシだった説あるよこれ
I need this.
次のプレイヤーはもう何もしてくんないぞ
So, you hear me?
うん
Are you there? You listening to this?
かわいそう
Okay. It's okay. I can wait.
待てますよ先
You
生
need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
ごめんねリロイ
It's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing.
かわいそう
Take as much time as you need.